Hello, welcome to episode 3
Trace.
of our Purple Oath. Guys, me and Devin are so happy to have you here with us. We have a good show planned for you today. I wanted to start off the episode by apologizing to Devin for last episode and being completely out of line and telling you guys not to listen to him in his belligerent rant. But now I know that Devin was just trying to reach to all spectrums of people and to engage in conversations. And I am going to strive to never let that happen again.
You know?
That said, Devin, I appreciate you being my co-host. I take everything that you do very seriously and to heart, and I appreciate you being that voice of reason and voice of many American thoughts.
You know? All right. I appreciate that apology, man. Yeah, last week after pretty much being just shut down and in my own sense, in my own mind, being called crazy, I was just like, you know what? All right, that's how it's gonna be. So I ended up shutting down. I just agreed with everything that you were saying. Um, but that's not what this podcast is about.
No.
This podcast, Our Purple Oath, is to voice all voices. I I do understand that I fully understand that in your eyes I had said some very outlandish things.
Yes, I know you. I know you understand.
Now, again, it was only because I am gonna play that opposition.
Yes.
Um,
And I appreciate that opposition.
there's
And our audience, I guarantee, appreciates that opposition as well.
there's things that I'm gonna say that I believe. There's things that I'm gonna say that I don't believe, and that's where it's at. It's my dude. You have a deer in your backyard.
There's a deer.
It is at your back door.
At the back door.
At the back door. This is freaking cool.
Look how soft it looks.
Like, she's so pretty. She looks.
She's all looking in here like, what are you guys doing?
Hi.
Look at her. Oh my god. You guys don't understand. She is literally looking in our back door right now, like smelling the door. Like, what are you guys doing?
What are you guys doing over here?
Well, I mean, that's what podcasts are all about out in the country.
Yeah. Such a pretty thing.
Yeah, she's very curious too. She's like, I don't know what you guys are doing or why you're sitting there, but it smells good in there.
Very curious.
I think she likes the smell in here.
Yeah?
Yeah. She's like, I want to come in there and do what you guys are doing. So, give you guys a rundown on what we're going to talk about tonight. Just a little quick rundown. We're going to talk about a little bit about the MyPillow guy being sued, the New York attorney getting Trump's tax returns, Rick Perry, Biden's EOs, obviously, Trump's CPAC speech, the COVID.
That was epic.
The COVID vaccine, new sanctions on Russia, Andrew Cuomo, and then Feds announce warning of possible domestic terror at State of the Union address. And also, CDC just put out a suggestion that we should learn how to survive a zombie
They
apocalypse.
didn't just put that out. That's been out for a couple months now.
Why do you think they put that out? I mean, we
Well,
can speculate.
we can speculate they put that out because of those ferrets that we
What are the
talked
odds
about.
I could open that door and she'd come in?
That'd be so awesome. You're gonna scare the living hell out of her. You gotta be super slow about your emotions. Guys, he is slowly walking. Oh, curious. She's curious. He's slowly walking to the door. He's opening it up.
Hi, baby. It's okay. It's okay.
This
It's
is
okay.
awesome. He's oh,
It's okay. Hi.
she's so curious.
Hi. Hi there.
Yep, just back up, Blake.
Hi. Come on. What are you doing? You want to eat some weed? That's about all I have to feed you. What are you doing? What do you think? Oh my God, there's
There's
another one coming.
Is there?
There's another one on their way here. What are you doing?
Epic.
I'm gonna bring you down to your level. See, I'm little. I'm not as big as you think I am. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not as big. Hi, come here.
Guys, this is cool.
My God, there's a deer about to walk into my house.
She's like honestly contemplating it. You can see it in
A
her
deer
face.
about to walk into my house.
She's like,
What are you doing? What are you doing? You are far too close. This is dangerous for you. You should not get this comfortable with humans. Humans are not good. You can't get this comfortable with humans. That's okay. That's okay. It's okay.
yeah,
You're okay. I'm not
so
gonna hurt you.
pretty.
Simply because you're a female. Now, if you were a boy, you'd be kind of. First of all, you wouldn't have let me get this close.
No.
It's okay. You're okay. Why are you so close? Why are you just chilling? Okay. Alright. That's what happens when your fence is wide open.
Wide open. Yep.
Okay. I don't have nothing to feed you. I do apologize. Maybe another day.
Oh no.
No,
You move too fast. That's all. Leave the door open. You just move too fast. That's all.
well, you guys don't understand
how is that experience? Surreal.
Yeah, I've never been that close. I've never had a deer
My turn.
touch my hand. Yeah, I've never had a deer touch my hand before. But yeah, the deer's just chilling. There's another one walking up here too. So for those of you who don't know, I live kind of out in the woods, and the deer are plentiful. So are the turkey. Very 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 common out here. And the deer that I kind of spooked away from the door when I walked away just came right back to Devin. And I know you guys are thinking about listening to politics, but this is so fucking cool that we can't, like, not talk about this. This has never happened. We've never had a full grown female deer just walk right up to the door and be so curious to just stick around and smell around like, hey, what's going on? What are you guys doing back there? So, as far as the MyPillow guy, I only wanted to touch on that just a little bit. We touched about it last week at the end of our episode about as much as I really wanted to talk about it at all. So the MyPillow guy, you guys all know who that is. The MyPillow. So the guy that does the MyPillow commercials, and I think he's the CEO. He is being sued by the Dominion voting systems because of false allegations that the Dominion voting uh, computers or robots, whatever they are, were designed to compute only Democrat and fudge and lie pretty much. Pretty much they were designed to lie, is what the MyPillow guy put out. And this was all over from multiple right-wing extremist voices. Was that the MyPillow, the Dominion system was flawed in some way, or it was in some way, say, rigged. Like Donald Trump likes to use that word about every sentence he uses. But I mean, guys, it's pretty easy.
I'm keeping that door open.
The MyPillow guy probably shouldn't be talking about politics.
There's 3 out there.
I know. And they're all females.
Yeah.
While I go take a break and go visit them.
Oh, you're gonna scare them away.
Tell them about the New York attorney getting 10 years of Trump's tax returns.
Oh, well, see, now you're going into something that I haven't really looked into much. I know it's been an ongoing thing. These attorneys have been after his tax returns for his entire presidency, if I'm not mistaken. But no, it was just last week that the attorneys were handed over had been given the last 10 years of his returns. I had to explain that I didn't really know much because I didn't really look into it. I just knew about 4 years of them trying to get these returns.
Okay.
But yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. Well, I mean, typically, you give your financial records over for speculation, so the American people can look at your financial background. Donald Trump was the first person in like 50 years plus or something like that to not do that. So that's really the only reason that the conversation is really a conversation, you know? So this attorney was granted 10 years worth of Trump's tax returns.
Yep.
And all correlating documents to tax filing, I guess. Mm-hmm. So I guess the more that this attorney goes into it, obviously the more it gets leaked.
It's his finances.
Well, and it's all getting leaked. Imagine that. So I guess the speculation is, as of so far, as of what has been leaked and what they think is credible leaked evidence, Trump is probably going to deal with some guilty charges. There's going to be some charges he's not going to be able to fight. And it's going to be in his benefit to just say you're guilty to certain things. But from what I'm understanding from some of this leaked stuff is that his kids are fucked. Like Ivanka, Eric, um, Kushner, Jared Kushner, dude, they are not doing good. Like,
Don Jr.
yeah, there is documents, I guess, in his tax forms, in his tax filings, that doesn't look good for his kids. And I guess things that like
Like
remember how he
like
said about
lobbying money wise,
well,
or
remember how he said he was under audit and that he couldn't show his tax returns? He wasn't lying. But why he was under audit is why the red flags start coming up. He's under audit because he's deducted things that you're not allowed to deduct, and like giving money to kids that was tax free, that they spent tax free but never paid taxes on. Years later, they're finding these things out. Uh-oh. GarageBand had a hiccup.
hiccup.
Hiccup. I don't know how much of that you missed, but we are back. What?
Well, all I'm gonna say is it's not surprising, even in the slightest. My question is, why isn't the same kind of investigation being done to the Bidens?
I think it is, because that was going to be my next question. What do you think comes out of this Hunter Biden investigation?
Well,
And do you think they can directly link Joe to it? And if so, this is like a 3-part question. And if so, do you think Joe could do the same thing Trump did
let me
and just not
I'm
cooperate?
gonna just to paint a picture of just to paint the picture. You, me, and Silas. Okay, you, me, and Silas go out golfing. Okay, obviously this is we got to now
Total hypothetical.
hypothetical, right? We go golfing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I so happen to be a business partner, a future business partner of your son.
Okay.
You can't sit there and tell me during those 8 hours that you talk to me about the business. It doesn't matter what it was about. It could be the smallest thing. Did we talk about the business? Yes. Did we talk about the business? No. In the 8 hours, 6 hours it takes for an 18-hole golf, for 18 holes,
Yeah.
golf 18 holes, guarantee you business is going to come up
Yeah, absolutely.
at least once.
Absolutely. Golf is one of those things where even if you're there with your in-laws, you talk about something having to do with finances or your job or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So for
Politics for the lesser
so
more.
Biden, being the politician he is, he's going to sit here and continue to deny the fact that he talked to his son's future business partner, when we all know business came up at least once or twice when they were together.
Well, and I voted for Biden, and I want Biden to do great things, and I want him to prove a lot of people wrong. But at the same time, Biden's a family man through and through. There are things that you talk about with your kids, and that's definitely right along the first couple things you're talking about, like when you're like me and my dad, and me and my stepdad, and me and my mom, me and my in-laws. One of the main things we talk about when we really get into conversation is money, finances. I want to hear what they know, and they want to hear what I know with the new age stuff, and we all benefit from it. But you can't like this goes along that same thing. You can't tell me that Joe isn't talking to Hunter about the shit he's doing. Definitely if it's making a lot of money. You can't tell me that that's just something that like
Right.
you wink at the dinner table and don't
So
talk about.
that's another question that comes up is how is it that he goes from having a net worth of hundreds of thousands of dollars to millions of dollars
Yeah.
in the matter of months?
Yeah. It's politics. It's that name.
It is that one word, lobbying.
Corruption.
No, corruption, yeah, but lobbying. Lobbying's there.
Well, in fundraising,
Get around
it
term.
don't. I mean, people throw around the word fundraising like it's candy nowadays. Like you can get a fundraiser for a politician, and it can be literally nothing. Like it can be no really thing.
No,
Like you
no
just have
benefit.
you have people show up to give this one person money, so they have money to benefit or money to run and money to have things that they need to be able to be successful. You know what I mean?
No
Like
benefit to it.
like a fundraiser nowadays is just it's not what a fundraiser is. It's get your buddy rich so he can make you rich. You know what I mean? Cuz these people that are fundraising
What are you saying about me right now?
these
I feel
people
like you're calling me out right now.
no, these people that are funding these politicians are just putting their chess pieces on the table.
My dude, these politicians are chess pieces.
That's what I'm saying. They're chess pieces from the billionaires and the trillionaires.
Not, oh, yeah. It's not even that. You know, you're gonna call me fucking crazy. Again, I don't care.
I like
But
it.
but this whole Illuminati BS that QAnon's been touting over the last that we've been covering over the last year.
Yeah.
What if our region, the North American region, is controlled by one person, okay? And that one person just so happens to be one of the most well-known moguls in history.
It's not far fetched.
Who do you think I'm talking about?
Either
Who
the
d-
Rockefellers or the
no,
Rothschilds.
no, not even them.
Soros?
No. The
Well,
last person you would think of. He is.
Warren Buffett.
Yes. You've got to think. Let's think about this.
Hold on, it's not that far fetched if you were just like, hey, it's something Warren Buffett, and you're like, yes.
Like,
There's more people thinking about that than just me.
Let's think about it. Let's think about Warren Buffett, his money, his wealth, which his wealth is purely off of assets that he owns.
What is
right?
that? Hathaway. Hathaway something.
Oh, you're talking about
His company.
um
Why can't I
just
think
had
of the rest of it? Something Hathaway.
I just had a interview with them.
Yeah, that company is
Because they
serious.
because they also own a crane company out here in
It's like
Colorado.
Anne Hathaway or something.
No,
No, that's a.
really?
Wait, that's an
Yes.
actress.
Anne Hathaway, the realty. Oh my God.
Warren Buffett. Warren
Hathaway.
Buffet.
Well, he's got Saks and whatnot.
I don't know what he has. That's why I'm asking. I know that
I forget.
that company he has, because I used to have money in their stocks. And it's a huge company. They dabble in like
It's
finances, real estate,
It's real estate.
banking, all kinds of shit.
Well, not only that, those companies also own like their own little construction companies. Like it's a little trickle down. trickle down effect.
So I want to ask you: what did you hear from the CPAC speech from Trump? Because I didn't hear much. I just heard like highlights, like a Sports Center
So
recap. You wanna do this?
yeah, let me take this shot real quick.
Cheers! Cheers to all of you.
Oh, oh, oh. Oh. Okay. Well,
Don't drink and drive.
yes. Don't drink and drive. Anyways, so I honestly didn't intend to watch any part of the speech. I honestly only watched probably 20 minutes of it, to be honest, because it was another Trump speech.
Bunch
Right.
of bullshit. Bunch of lies.
It was he's not gonna step down, and when I say he's not gonna step down, he's gonna continue his political career, and he's gonna continue this fight to his fight to drain the swamp that he had started 4 years ago. Um, Now, I made a comment that QAnon was gonna love his speech, right? Because QAnon, they like to dig into every little thing. They like QAnon will they will go into the depths of using reverse speech to prove points, right? Um, Anyways, there is a lot of symbolism in the setting. The biggest one was this um, ruin that the Nazis had used, and it was one of their special forces. Um, and the platform was in the shape of this ruin. So a lot of people were digging up that, bringing back that aspect of, or bringing another Germany pretty much back.
Mm-hmm.
At the at the speech, um, people had pointed out that the flags that were displayed had eagles on them, silver, copper eagles, and the eagles only represent that individual is the president. Essentially, that is like the gist of their ideology around it.
Yeah.
Um, and then they even went, they as in the far right conspirators, QAnon, whoever it be, um, they go on to saying how the only person to have made a public speech since the inauguration is Trump. They're not wrong. Biden's made public appearances on talk shows, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I mean, he
he hasn't
public speeches.
He hasn't held.
He hasn't done his State of the Union yet.
That's coming up, and that'll probably be a shit show.
I mean,
I'll actually be.
That's
curious.
all speculation on what you consider a speech, because he has been on multiple places and said, like, not talking to the reporter, he's talking to the American people. You know what I mean? So that's technically a speech. You know Biden though. Anytime anyone addresses him, he starts talking to the American people. He doesn't talk to the reporter anymore.
That's all scripted.
Well, and I don't know if that's scripted. That's
It's
just
scripted.
Biden. Biden
No.
is just he's
My dude,
so good at that.
Let's look at the last.
But look how
No, let's look.
I see where you're coming from.
Let's look at one of the last Kamala Harris interviews on it wasn't CNN, it was CNBC, NBC, MSNBC.
Yep.
It was a left wing media outlet who you if you sat there and watched the interview, you could tell that the news anchor, what is her name?
What was it on MSNBC?
I think it was MSNBC. It could have been, anyways. What? She blonde. She went off script. You could tell she went off script. She was like, "You guys made these promises. You haven't fulfilled these promises. What is your plan?" And Kamala Harris's response was the same every time.
I love when they get feisty with the fucking politicians. See, that's a good reporter. That's a fantastic reporter. See, I'm all for calling them out. I voted for Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, but I am all for calling them out and holding them accountable. Like, I'm going to be... Anyone who knows me knows that I did not vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris because I wanted them and I saw them as the best benefit for America. No. I, like most Americans, saw that as a lesser of two evils. And yes, I still stand by it. Other than the things that are happening in the oil field right now, I stand by my decision. I honestly feel like Biden was a better choice for America than Trump. Now, if we talk about the oil field and what's going on with gas prices and all that, I'm upset. I'm pissed.
It's not even just that.
I'm fucking pissed off.
It's also everything he's doing with 2A.
I'm just saying, as a man that voted for Joe Biden, I am very upset with him right now, with what he's done to gas prices in the oil industry.
I honestly don't think anyone else can actually admit that they're upset with Biden, who voted for him.
I like the things that Biden's doing for the coronavirus and the vaccine, and he's making his priorities. Yeah, and he promised that he would make that his priority, and he did. But at the same time, it's like, dude, you said you were gonna make COVID your priority, but you signed an executive order your first fucking day, pretty much, killing the Keystone Pipeline. How is that coronavirus? That is total. And
not only that,
last episode, I lied. I said that there was like 1 million fucking jobs lost from the Keystone Pipeline getting shut down.
It was like 40,000.
And I said that the Keystone Pipeline was like 75% done. Both of those were lies. But you know where I got both of those information from? Right-wing media. Because I try and listen to both on a daily basis. Because I try and get that information from one side and the other. And I'm going to tell you right now. 1 day worth of information had me spouting off at the mouth full of wrong information. I literally was telling people that there was 1 million plus jobs lost from shutting down the Keystone Pipeline.
The fact that
how many jobs were really lost?
I'm going to tell you now, the fact that you believe that there's 1 million jobs lost from that Keystone Pipeline, you're an idiot because.
Okay, wait. Let me rephrase that. And 1 million jobs lost from the gas and oil field. since Biden has been in office.
And even then, I'm gonna continue to stand by a very kind statement by calling you an idiot for for listening for just that, listening to these right wing, because that's what it is. You're listening to the right wing.
But I put the same trust I have with some of the media outlets that I put a lot of trust in that are almost, I would say, over 90% correct.
When you're saying right wing,
no, you're right. You're right. I should not put that much. I should not put that much stock in.
For one, right then and there, if you're gonna, I'm gonna tell you this right then and there. If I hear that there's a million jobs lost from shutting this down, I'm gonna go and research it. Okay. Now my next question, my question to you is, what right wing media do you listen to, follow? Because that will, your following answer will determine.
Oh, absolutely, and if you really want to know, it's 7:40, I think 7:20 a.m. Radio, which is the Rush Limbaugh station. So I understand that they spout off at the mouth with shit that they don't even know.
There you go. Right then and there. That's where you're.
Hold on. I don't go to these stations to get information. I go to these stations to hear what the other side is talking about. And when I come to our listeners and say, this is what the other side is saying, it's not really necessarily what I believe, but it is something that is on the table that other people do absolutely believe.
So that there should make us sit down and question more.
I agree.
You have this right wing, far right wing conspiracy theorist.
I wouldn't even say that.
Whatever.
I wouldn't even call them that.
Hold on. Whatever you want to call the far right.
The Rush Limbaugh station.
And then you also have your far left, okay?
We'll call that
whatever.
Call that
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
We'll call that the CNN.
You have your far right, your far left.
Your CNN. And then your OAN.
OAN is definitely a right leaning, but they're more moderate than Fox News.
Okay, hold on. I have a question. Hold on. Just a little side question on that note, because you said that. Do you think OAN is just as likely to censor their people on false information as other sites?
No.
Okay.
I don't think they would. Anyways.
Provable false information is all I'm saying.
So, to go, I'm gonna dig deep on this one. Okay.
Don't go flat Earth on me.
I have my shovel here, guys. Here I go digging. Okay. Hopefully, I can dig myself out of this one.
Don't go flat Earth on me. We can't get you out of that hole.
So we have this conspiracy of Illuminati. Okay.
That's not a conspiracy.
Now everyone knows of the idea of Illuminati back in the 1700s. The Illuminati was a real group. Okay.
Was is a subjective term. No.
So I'm saying was because we don't know if they.
No, you can go on. I was just saying was is a subjective term.
Subjective term because we don't know if they exist.
Yeah,
now.
You could say different. You could say is, was.
So.
Yeah.
the Illuminati is this group that is believed to do what they can to have a one world order, right?
Uh-huh.
The best way to control anyone is through chaos. Okay?
Controlled by chaos, yeah.
Control by chaos. The only way you
And only
the
brilliant people understand that.
the only way to create this chaos is to find your far left CNN flat earthers.
Devin,
And
you know neither of us are in
and-
that brilliant category unless it's in like a creative
I'm telling you
aspect.
right now that that's all you need is you need to
But-
find.
But you know what I mean? Like to get to that extra where what that you're talking about, you have to have that brilliant, beautiful mind kind of thing.
You just need money.
No, because you have an
No,
ulterior
you just-
motive.
You need money.
All of those people have an ulterior motive. That they like Elon Musk right now. He is putting on a front. He has an ulterior motive in everything he's doing right now. He has an end goal that he's not telling anyone about. Hence the ulterior motive. You know what I mean? There's a majority of the people you will meet in your life that have an ulterior motive with you in mind. That come up to you with ulterior motives in mind.
Yeah, and you know what those
But they don't tell you about it.
You know what those people are? Those people are fake.
No, those people are fucking rich, is what those people are.
They're also,
Because they are professionals at playing people.
yeah, they're also fake.
Fake is a good term because they play people for a profession. They play personalities. They find personalities that benefit them and they play them for a benefit.
Fake. Just
And
like
a lot of
every
people
last
don't understand their potential. Potential.
I'm gonna start using that.
A lot of people don't understand their potential. So they take someone like that.
My
that
dude,
just
I am
feeds...
tapping into mine now.
No, but you understand what I'm saying. Like, it's that Wolf on Wall Street mentality. You tap into people's potential before they even believe in their potential. So you get a benefit out of it before they realize how they're worth, pretty much.
Right. It's just belief.
It's more of a how long, and this is just a scumbag mindset of how much money can I make out of my best people. You try and feed into your best people that they're not worth as much as they actually are, so that you can exploit the fuck out of them before they understand it. And it is so... I hate to throw fucking slime and dirt at the capitalist system, because I do, after my knowledge of this past couple years of talking to people who can educate me on capitalism, I can see the flaws in capitalism, though, and the exploitations that people can do in capitalism. And this is a perfect example.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It can create a monopoly. It is creating a monopoly.
Yeah. Think about someone who can, and this is just a really short, simple example. Think about someone who can pay minimum wage for someone who's really good at their job. Like, say something like welding. You say you have an assembly line.
This is already going to be that's a terrible example, because a lot of welders I know are self-employed and they make...
It is probably a terrible example, but think of this. I was just trying to put it towards an assembly line, and welders was my closest thing. So think about like an assembly line. Think about like an assembly line. Then think about your welders and your mechanics and your parts people. There's these factories all across the country and in other countries that get away with this exploitation of people's skills that they have perfected.
Oh, like China.
Yeah. Oh, that's not even that. That's total. That's totally different hemisphere. China
Is
should.
it though?
China should get fucking nuked.
Am I wrong?
But-
Because you
but-
just laid out the foundation of what's going on in China. So
Oh no, the sweatshops, absolutely. You're not wrong. I just think that that's a very exaggerated.
Not even the
That's a very
sweatshops.
exaggerated
Not
of
even
what
the
I'm talking
sweatshops.
about, and you and me both disagree with that and feel like they should be nuked and wiped from the planet, and their people should be freed to.
They need some dealing with.
See,
for
that
sure.
sucks because if America, Canada, South America, Europe, and parts of Africa, if we can all come together and make it a realization
I'm gonna
that
tell you right now.
China is a problem because of how they treat their people and that they're not allowed to just freely leave.
Problem though. When China already owns.
Well, I think the main problem
When
is
China-
how many people come out of China every year. Like the babies
doesn't
that get
matter.
born every year?
That doesn't matter.
It does
No,
matter.
No, that doesn't matter. I'm going back to your previous statement of us coming together with countries in Africa is going to be a problem because China already owns countries in Africa.
So do we, though. They don't talk about it.
They own the important countries.
That's not true.
No, they
That's
do.
not exactly
they
true.
They do because they own South Africa.
No, because I've done a little bit of research watching the gold mining show on the history or not History Channel.
That's all a forefront.
I can't remember.
That's
But
all
no, I've looked up. I mean, you can say Google's bullshit, but I mean, I have looked up Google articles that talk about like where claims are and ownership is in Africa, and like you're right. Russia, Germany, parts of Europe, Canada, they own a lot of parts of Africa, but there is a majority of it owned by China, and there is a lot of it owned by America.
This brings up a very good point. All right.
I don't know if you heard this, but about 5 years ago, you remember when the movie Blood Diamond came out?
Yes.
So about that time, you probably heard the same as I heard. Africa was going to be the new gold mine, pretty much the new hub, because of the naturals that were there to be mined.
So if you can stop talking for a second, so I can finish my statement, because that's where I was going.
I'm sorry.
If we logically think about this, Africa is probably one of the poorest countries. Right? Why is that? Because every other
established.
They're less established, yes. That's a better way to put it. Less established. Why is that? Because every other superpower out there, Russia, China, North America, has a noose, a metaphorical noose.
A chokehold.
A chokehold, yes. A chokehold around these countries.
Yeah.
Because the continent itself holds the most minerals, the richest minerals.
Yeah, absolutely.
And holds Um,
Value.
value. Yeah, value to human life.
Yeah.
So these.
And common interest.
Yeah.
Like gold and diamonds and.
So the only way to expand your superpower is to pay the one or two pawns.
There's
the
also that thing that no one's talking about too, lithium.
Oh,
Africa's got the richest lithium.
Yeah. You know
and no one's talking about that right now.
No one's talking about how much damage lithium mines are going to do.
I wouldn't say damage because it's no different than the equipment they run at other mines. It's just on a bigger scale because they understand how rich the lithium ores are.
You just said it. It's on a bigger scale.
It's so massive.
It's on a bigger scale.
Huge. Like they take over.
You just said
they
it.
take over like 1,000,000 square foot area.
Right. You just said it.
Yeah. I know. And where's your take on this? Don't you think it's gonna run out? Don't you think that we need to be like trying to figure out how to make lithium more powerful like immediately before we run out of it?
That's not gonna happen. We're gonna mine.
Oh, is it? It's
like,
more plentiful than that.
I think just like gold, silver, copper that we mined during the gold rush, right? If we go and do this massive lithium rush mine,
yeah,
we're going to depreciate the living hell out of the value of it.
I don't think so. It's gonna
at first. Hold on.
No, actually, I do agree with you.
Hold on.
Because we're fucking crazy.
At first, we're going to depreciate the value of it because
we're going to overconsume it.
We're going to overconsume it.
Yeah.
And then because
you're
of
so
the
right.
overconsumption of it.
No, you're so right.
Just like gold now.
I didn't think about that.
The value is going to skyrocket.
The thought of that right now makes me worry. Because that thought never crossed my mind. Because you know as well as I know, in the next couple years, yes, it's going to be plentiful because they're going to mine the fuck out of it, and they're going to make the mining cheap. They're going to make it affordable.
That's only going to last.
So everyone can get a fucking electric car.
Right.
But what happens when your ores run out? And what happens when you have your specialists searching the whole fucking globe looking for these lithium deposits? And I mean, I don't think we would ever run out, but I don't know. Like it's like saying we'd run out of gold. I don't think we would ever run out of gold. I don't think we could ever possibly ever find all the gold.
We are absolutely running out of gold.
I don't think we could ever find all of it, though. You know what I mean? That's more of what I'm saying. Like, we would always be able to find more gold. The ratio of finding it could go down, but we're always going to be able to find it. It's a rock, and it's and you know just as well as I know, as the generations go along, we're going to get away from gold. We're going to get on to things like what's that super neon rock? No, what's that super neon rock?
You thinking kryptonite?
No, it's a rock. It's literally a rock.
I was being.
It glows. It glows green.
You said a green glowing rock, and the only one I can think of is Superman's weakness, kryptonite.
No, it's like onyx or something like that. Like a real rock.
I understand it's a real rock.
But anyways, I think we're more or less going to get along to something that takes away. Like, we're going to get away from gold. We're going to get away from diamonds. We're going to get away from gasoline. We're going to get away from natural gas. We're going to find better ways all the time. So this bickering back and forth about, hey, this is better for our planet and this is more fuel efficient. It's like, dude, you got to take both of those into consideration because we are always going to continue to advance. What's more efficient now and what's more environment friendly now? You know what I mean? You got to weigh the two together, not just one or the other. And I really feel like the right-wing politics just pays attention to the oil, and the left-wing politics pays attention to the green aspect.
The politicians only listen to what they want to listen to
because of who they're being funded by.
Right. Now, if we I guarantee you scientists do look at every aspect because they have to. But they're going to weigh out the pros and cons. If the pros outweigh the cons, they're going to present the pros over the cons. They're going to give one or two cons, but they're going to give 10 pros.
That's what I'm saying. We need to do that.
So
we need to find the overlayers. You know what I mean?
So that is where we as a collective need to do the deeper research.
Yes.
And go to the source. Don't listen to one outlet. Don't read one article from one source. You need to go to the source. Just like the stimulus package.
I want to pick your brain on something before we get to that.
Just like the stimulus package. If you want to know what's going on with the stimulus package, go to the stimulus package. Because you're only going to know the truth by going to the actual
Actually, no, let's get
document,
into that real quick.
Right? You can't
Last time I heard that 10%, possibly less than 10% of the $1.9 trillion is going to us, the American people.
Was it 10%? I think it's about 10%, yeah.
All of the rest,
so,
the rest of the 90% is going to eviction moratoriums and healthcare supplements and trying to compensate for
other
lost
countries.
Bullshit. And then 50% of it is going to other countries. Yeah, literally.
And then the Congress's pocket.
I am telling you right now, if you voted for fucking Joe Biden, this is where you need to hold him accountable for doing shit that none of us wanted him to do.
Not only that.
Yes, we can all agree though. Can all agree though that we wanted him to get coronavirus under control and we wanted life to go back to normal.
Right. So this bill.
We didn't ask for this shit.
You realize this bill has zero backing from the Republicans.
Yeah, I know. 0% backing. I want all of you to know that. Should we look that up real quick? We know it. We know absolutely that it was 0%.
It was 0.
Yeah. It's not something we need to look up.
Bill was only pushed within the matter of, oh my God,
2 weeks.
Senate. I
think it was 10 days.
Senate had 10 days.
I think it was 10 days or something.
They
had a full week to read it. Hold on.
Johnson.
Let me ask you something.
Senator Ron Johnson.
Devin, let me ask you something real quick. The bill was 600 pages long.
Oh no, it was not.
That's what I read.
That's what you read. That bill is 5,393 pages.
So from what I read,
I'm sorry. I say 5,393 pages because bill that I looked at was 5,393 pages, and I'm pretty sure it was the stimulus bill. Let's think about this. The last stimulus package that would try to go through Congress was 5,000 pages. Why is this one only going to be 600? Let me ask you that.
No, that was a question. So there was a I don't know what they call it, but they had to read a 600-page something. Maybe it was a summary.
No. So Senator Ron Johnson made it mandatory to essentially read 600 pages. It was
like a summary.
A 600-page summary of it.
That's what I kind of got.
A 600-page summary in a week. However,
that's not hard. You and me could both read 600 pages in 7 days.
I mean, if that's
read
all
that in 2 days.
If that's all in 2 days, hell no. 600 pages in 2 days.
If that's your job, though. That's your job, though. Yeah, you could do it.
But you got to realize, as a politician, you're gonna be you're doing more than just gonna be reading.
And not to mention that every bill you come across that you don't agree with, you have to red flag and have to send it off to somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I know. A bunch of bullshit.
Ron Johnson, Senator Ron Johnson.
You understand that we have more understanding of how shit works than like 98% of the population.
I wouldn't say 98%.
I would.
But a majority.
I would.
I would say a majority.
I would say we're in the 90s.
Okay. I'm still gonna stick with a majority. I'm not gonna overguesstimate. Anyways,
I put us at 200 episodes of this podcast. We're both gonna be asked to do some kind of law work at the state. They're gonna be like, "Hey, I need you to be my Secretary of Treasury," and they're gonna reach out to me and be like, "I need you to be my Secretary of something."
Of something.
Yeah.
So he said Secretary of something.
So the only reason I say that is because, and we're just rambling now, but the Rush Limbaugh was spouting off at the mouth one day while I was listening to him, and he said he has received over 1,000 state jobs or government official jobs.
Good for him. I mean, it was also Rush Limbaugh,
but it's and that's not surprising, right?
With someone like Rush Limbaugh, it's not surprising.
Not surprising. Yes, it's not surprising. Same with someone like Ben Shapiro. It's not surprising for them to receive a shitload of hey, I want you to come be our politician. Okay, moving on. What do you think about the Andrew Cuomo shit? Because I know you know a lot more about this than I do.
I know for a fact that is not. Media is not covering it.
Yeah.
Media is not covering.
You're correct.
The federal investigation on what's going on in New York.
What do you feel about him saying he refuses to resign too?
That it just continues to prove that he's a scumbag, to be honest.
Wait, my mind goes to a total different place. My mind goes to once someone says that, they don't think they're guilty. Because don't you think someone... Because you have those people... You have those people that are guilty and they're immediately like, okay, I'm fucked. You're right.
However, the investigation is on the fact that he's not releasing numbers of elderly patients that passed away from COVID.
Oh, his investigation as far as the
it's going into
the nursery homes. He's fucked.
And that's the biggest one that.
And he's got sexual allegations on top of that?
There's the sexual allegations. There's.
No, dude.
There's also.
I vote for Democrats for a majority, but this kind of shit, that man deserves to be hung in public.
There's the shutdown of New York, the way he shut it down. Do you realize?
Dude.
Do you realize trash?
Dude, put the fucking sexual assault aside. The fact of, if these allegations are right, that he was purposefully putting old people at risk. Dude, hang him in front of everybody. That is bullshit. That's our grandparents. And then now sexual allegations are coming up too.
He's just a pawn.
Like, dude, hang that man in a fucking in Central Park. It's just, how quick was everybody to say, let's hang that guy that had the knee on George Floyd's neck? And how quick is everybody to say Andrew Cuomo has a pass on this?
Because
that's this bullshit, though.
No, because Cuomo's a politician, that's why.
No.
That is exactly why.
No, you're right.
Cuomo is a politician who has power, who has money.
That's not okay. Why. That's not okay.
It's not okay. But that is why.
This is not okay. And people wonder why the Senate and the House floor is under full military guard right now. Because you have American people that are so fucking pissed off about the way that things are being handled right now. Dude, I'm telling you right now, as a man that voted for Joe Biden, the way that the government is handling the things right now is so fucking wrong. Joe Biden said his whole fucking term that he was going to be that fucking president for all people. Where's that now?
I don't see it.
How many days? How many days has he been in office? Like 40? 40 days or something like that? 50 days?
Something.
Give me a fucking break. As a man who voted for the man, as of right now, I would not have voted for Trump. But Biden, you're fucking letting me down, man. There are things that you said you would not do that you are doing now. And it's going to get a lot of people pissed off. There's people that voted for you that took your word that you were going to not be that divisive fucking liberal that Trump, even Bernie Sanders called him out on it.
I love that.
Even Bernie fucking Sanders called him out on it. It just pisses me off.
Because Bernie knows that Joe Biden's just another pawn.
And you know what pisses me off even more? And I don't mean to offend anyone. Because some people might look at me different for this statement, but I would have voted for Kamala Harris over Donald Trump. So, if that transition happens and Kamala Harris becomes our president and Joe Biden has something happen, I'm okay with it because I think she's more coherent.
Well, we know that for a fact.
But on that same note, I know that she is much more willing to do very dramatic things. Okay. On that note, do you think...
How dramatic are we talking? Because Joe also has been very dramatic.
That's true. It's true. Joe has done things that I did not think that he would do. Like the gun control thing. I knew that he was gonna kind of walk down this path, but I did not think he was gonna call out all the shit that he called out.
Listen, all of my AR-14s, all of my AR-16s, you guys can come and take them. Okay?
Did you just hear that?
You guys can come and take them. All of my AR-10s, all of my AR-15s, I lost those in a boating accident. So
I also only have AR-11s, AR-12s, and my AR-15 was lost in that same boating accident.
Yeah, it's kind of tragic.
So my wife's the only one that owns guns in this house technically. So I mean, Joe Biden doesn't have anything to take from either of us. But at the same time,
just in case,
you understand the implications of enforcing such a thing. Like, you can say, okay, yeah, we're going to say you can't buy assault rifles and the manufacturers can't make them. Yeah, that's cool. That's what they did in the late 90s after Columbine. But that's what they did after Columbine. They just said that you can't buy them and you can't manufacture them. You can still own them if you already own them. That's what I more see of happening now. If they pass that, they would say the manufacturers, you can't make them anymore, or at least the length of I tell you to.
They're gonna limit how many can be made. They would put a limit.
Not this administration. They're not going to give you that.
You don't even think they would limit it?
No, they're not going to give you that. They're going to outlaw manufacturing and selling. Just like they did at Columbine. You do understand that Biden was behind the Columbine banning of assault rifles?
Trust me, I know.
Biden had a lot to do with that.
100%.
Yeah. I got a potty break.
So. I mean, this is a good time to close it out, my dude. We are at a...
No, we still have...
No, we're over an hour, though.
I know, but... go into the feds announcing chaos at the State of the Union address.
Oh, the good old State of the Union address. See, it's going to go... I'm going to back it up to not even that. There's several of these anonymous Facebook pages that I follow on Facebook, and they make me chuckle. This one that I follow, I had seen an article or two how Persia has cells in not only DC but within the United States. Now what this article was saying was essentially Persia has these agents. That's what these agents, cells, agents, throughout the country and within DC, and there was a lot of chatter that they were gonna be a part of the cause of chaos at the State of the Union. Now there's also chatter that QAnon or the far right or whoever you want to call it, it could be Antifa posing as the far right. It could, who knows?
Yeah, there's from what the FBI said, there's like multiple organizations waiting for the announcement of when the when it's going to be, when the State of the Union address is going to be. Dude, they're saying that the FBI put out a statement the same time when they said that they were warning about the possible domestic threat. They said that they have received over 100 possible death threats towards the president just from the State of the Union address. And it's not even planned yet. It doesn't even have a date yet. But it goes on to that social media where they're monitoring everything right now. Like they're monitoring this new app Parler. They're monitoring Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
Parler is not back yet. There's
I thought the CEO put out a thing the other day about Parler was back and that they are now re-regulated.
They won the case because of the whole censorship thing.
But didn't they have to like agree to a bunch of shit?
Yeah, because Google's a fucking superpower.
Yeah,
with big tech.
That's what I got from the same thing. That's what I got from it too. That they had to agree to pretty much the same thing Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook agreed to.
Anyways,
which makes Parler the same thing that everyone was trying to get away from.
But Parler's just the right wing version of it. That's it.
Yeah. It says I saw that Parler changed their terms of agreement.
Where you have Twitter, right? But where you have Twitter, which is mostly left-leaning views.
Do you ever get on our Twitter account?
No.
Oh man, it's brutal sometimes.
I hardly get on Twitter, to be honest. Like.
Oh, you should get on Twitter more. There's not bad articles get shared around Twitter.
But Parler is exactly that. It is Twitter, but it is the right wing version of it. So there's going to be more right wing views and perspectives.
So a buddy of mine the other day said that 1 million plus jobs have been lost in the oil industry.
It's only been
because of Biden. And I didn't even think to look it up. I just spouted off at the mouth on someone on Facebook, and they looked it up, and they were like, "You're a fucking idiot. Go look up how many jobs have really been lost." And he wasn't wrong. Like, I was totally wrong. Like, there was literally only like maybe 15,000 jobs lost because most of them were people that were in a union and their job just sent them somewhere else.
Right. So with those numbers being included, it was I thought the last number I had saw was like 48,000.
A lot of there was like 3 people sent me the same article and it was 11,000. And I was like, bullshit. There's no fucking way that 10,000 fucking people lost their job. You're kidding me. Put a 0 on that. It's more like 100,000 people lost their fucking jobs. You can say that they were in a union and they just got shipped somewhere else, but they fucking lost their job.
There were thousands.
They were told that they had umpteen months of work, right, and then they just got shipped out at the snap of a finger.
Right. One morning they woke up and they were told to go home.
Like, I got in multiple arguments with people. It's like, dude, I can tell you right now that this article is wrong. I don't care if they fact checked it. It's wrong.
Well, that's the problem is Facebook fact checking things. They don't fact check because they.
Well, I'm starting to see now where I was at, like the opposite of where I was at a year ago, trying to find the articles that proved Fox and Trump wrong. It's not fucking hard to find an article that proves them wrong. There's many people that put out bullshit articles that prove them wrong, but they're not. If you look into the statistics and look into legit sites and start finding these websites and these people that don't say lies and just speak the truth,
it's not even that.
You start to see that these articles the last 4 years through Trump, they weren't telling you that Trump's wrong. They were just telling you what you wanted to hear. You know what I mean?
See, and yeah, I see where you're coming from. Now, I have found it the to find the most moderate news for America, for the United States, for even the world at that, is to one go to like the Associated Press. But
I like the AP.
however, I'm not even gonna do that. I'm gonna go a step beyond that, and I'm gonna go to like Al Jazeera.
I would put it, if I was to put one out there, it's David Pakman. That's someone that I can trust that has bipartisan news.
But that's still within the United States.
Yes, yes,
I'm
you're right.
expanding with I'm expanding outside the United States to get a better perspective of what's going on, because the only way we can know what's going on here is by getting an outside perspective.
I agree.
So going to Al Jazeera from the Middle East
So,
is
did you download that app I told you to download? The Ground News one?
no, not yet.
So, Ground News, this is a shout out to Ground News. They, every article they post on their site, they get about 4 different sites that are talking about it before they'll post it. So they can get a conservative, a liberal, and a middle. It's an awesome website. Everyone should go check that out. That is a good place to get good news. And like I said, they put multiple articles into each story. So if you're a liberal, you can look at the liberal article. If you're a conservative, you can look at the conservative article. If you're a podcaster like us, you can look at all of them. I mean, it gives you a sense of what. Guys, we're not going to sugarcoat this. This is our purple oath. Me and Devin understand the importance of being bipartisan and seeing both sides, because if you go too much of one side, you're going to lose your majority of your followers. I really feel like if you stay in that middle and try and hear both sides of every story, you will continue to stay in that middle, because politics tries to push you so far one way or the other. And where I'm really trying to get at that is, this podcast is going to set you off with a middle arrow. Set you right off in the middle, and you can go left or right, kind of dabble in each one as we go through the weeks.
You can agree or disagree with us, don't matter.
That said, I really think that you are going to get kind of a left, liberal, moderate side from me, and you are going to get the right, conservative, moderate, middle from Devin. Guys, whether it's Trump in office, whether it's Biden in office, whether it's Hillary Clinton in office, whether it's George Bush in office, we got to hold these people accountable. You can't idolize a fucking politician. They're working for us. And when they stop working for us, it's time for them to go. And it just sucks that in the past, it's usually not how it works. The ones that are fighting for America get chopped off like Kennedy. But this is our Purple Oath. This has been episode 3. We appreciate all you guys sticking with us, being a part of our podcast. Tell all your friends about it. Go on to our Anchor page and support us. You can support us in $1, $5, $10 increments. But yeah, let us know what you think. Comment. Tell Devin that you love him. He likes that shit. We're out of here. Bye, guys.